Atunea e talitali loto fia e pure polisi. Miori mele la tu taulahi. Malomu e tau maua e pongi whakakoloa koe ni. E maloa e whakahoko mai e whatongia. E whoke talitali hene o hua wai maka. Whakamalo atu koe tare kitani o lolo kakalate au. A lolo alapasita. Whakamalo atu te koe hua wai. Malo mua e whai whatongia. Pea malo e kau mahe pongpongini. Malo e whakalea mai. Pea mua e whakaloto lahi. I o whakauri tokanga hua wai. Tokanga ho whakauri. O ofa lahi atu ke te koe. Whakahoko mai ofa pea mea hua wai ke te koe. Meri mele la tu tau lahi. Whaka e meri tofu, whakamalo atu, malo e whakahoko whatongia mai pea me he tau main station. Ofa atu ki a sione tua lau makahiri. Koe lava pē tau whasi koe ni hoko pea. Kamatarewa tau Polokalama he pongpongi ni.
across the sea. Kingdom of Tonga, Kingdom of Tonga. In the midst of the coral, there's a nation I can't hide. There's a town, Nuku Alofa, and it's calling up to me. So I return to my island across the sea. Kingdom of Tonga, Kingdom of Tonga, Kingdom of Tonga, Kingdom of Tonga.
Paenga o e le tio Vake Tali Folau. Ai whakawhehokotaki anga o e tonga I he kolope. This is Radio Vake Tali Folau, where Tongans can connect globally.
Malomo ai lau maari e hou eiki pe alelei ai sola mo e vulangi kotoa pe. O mo mea mai mi he tapa kotoa e kolope. I he pongi pongi whakakoloa ko e ni. Ki he whakatahaanga o e tonga aia o iloa ko e paenga o e Vake Tali Folau. Pea koe paenga o e Vake Tali Folau, ho eki mo e kainga, oku mau whakahoko atu I he aho kotoa pe, pea mei he pongi pongi ki he ua tuapo. Koe whai whatongi ia ai le tio Vake Tali Folau, maki mou tolu. Peko le tio ko ni o ku maua I e tau Ngaahi o ngongo. O ku lava ke maua I e Ngaahi whanongonongo. Pea mo e Ngaahi tuuaki. Pea pehe ki he Ngaahi sevesi ki he kehe o ku aonga ki ho tau kāinga tonga. Ko le tio Vake Tali Folau o ku lava ke maua I e Ngaahi pōpoaki ofa. Pōpoaki whakamamahi. Pōpoaki talamonu. Pea I he le tio ko e ni, o ku lava ke mauai, e Ngaahi Polokalama whakalau maarie. Polokalama ki he mo ui lelei. Polokalama whakaako. Polokalama tala tuku whakaholo o e whonua. Aia o ku kauai e tau Ngaahi koloa whakatonga. Hange koe kokaanga, lalanga, tui kakala. Pehe ki he whakamatala o e kawa, mo e taumafa kawa. Lea tonga, pea mo e polovea pe whakatonga. Pea ulawa o whanongo ai ki a historia o tonga, mo e Ngaahi haatu I. O ulawa ke whanongo ai ki he Ngaahi Polokalama, ki he kautou lekereka, I he le tio Vake Tali Folau ai au iloa ko riki vai. Pea I he le tio Vake Tali Folau o ku iai mo e Polokalama, likuesi hiva, ho mo Ngaahi whasi manako, ai au iloa ko e a houa pea mo e ofaanga. I he le tio Vake Tali Folau o ku iai whoki pea mo e Ngaahi Polokalama, whakotu uka veinga, ke whai ki ai ha whela whoaki. Pea I he le tio Vake Tali Folau, o ku iai whoki, ai Ngaahi Polokalama ki he Ngaahi koristu tuku. O ku iai Ngaahi Polokalama o e Ngaahi wheituu, pe koe kolo, pe koe whonua, o ku whai ai whetuu taki, I he connections. Pe Ngaahi Polokalama ke he kehe pe o ku mau ilo o ku aonga ki he langahake ai mo ui lo tolu ai tonga sino atamai mo e lau maarie. Pe koe tau ene hongo fulu tupu ai whai whatongia a le tio Vake Tali Folau maa ki mau tolu. Pea te mau kei whai whatongia pe ki he pāanga ngalu o taimi. Pea koe ai viso ne ai pure, mo e poate o e kau tare kita, pea pehe ki he kau whai whatongia o e le tio Vake Tali Folau. Ai visone ke toi langa hake. Ai le tio. Pia ke tupulaki. Ai le tio Vake Tali Folau I he kolope. Ko ia o ku fiema o ho mo lotu pe mo ho mo pou. Ke lava whakahoko ai visone ko eni. Ai Vake Tali Folau. Pe ko le tio Vake Tali Folau.
Paenga o le tio Vake Tali Folau. Ai whakawhehoko taki anga o e tonga I he kolope. This is Radio Vake Tali Folau, where Tongans can connect globally. O ko tau whakawhetai ko tau pe, ke tau tamai he wani. Ko hi ko ene ke I whakala ko I fualelei a ena a whiwhio. A he vuniwalu e otu tonga. King Charles I tupo uono. Ia mo e kuini o whiina o tonga. Ko kuini nanasi pau. O ku kei lau maari e lelei pe a e tahine prinsesi o whiina o otu tonga. Prinsesi Charlotte Mafileo Pilolevu Tuita. Pia mo e fui lupe o loto palasi. Ke kei whaita po e ki nai pe ai Pirinis Kalauni uluka lala tupo toa. Whakatawange ke moni monu moni tonu. Ke kei whaita po e ki nai pe ai whare o tupo. Moha mo he ofo. Ke kei tu loa I pe ai hau o tonga. A ene pure o laulau I tau tangata. O au ki he pā angangalo taimi. Ke whakalekesi mua ai hou eiki o e whonua. Eiki pare mia pea mo e minista o ene awhio. Pea pehe ki he whare alea o tonga. Ke whai o skia velenga pea mo whaito tonu whoki. A honau whatongia ki he kakai o e whonua. Pea ki whakamau luta tonga. Ke iongo nai pe a e tau moto. Ko otua mo tonga. Ko hoku tofia. Whakapapa mo salute ki he fofonga kotoa. O e sikau tau koula. I he tapa kotoa pe o e kolope. O kumau mea mai mei ai. Malo mua e whakatotola a o kumau whai. Pea whakatawange ke hoko ai whai whatongia o kumau whai. I he whanonga anga me he ngahi tapa kotoa pe o e kolope. Pea pehe ki he whai whatongia ai le tio Vake Tali Folau. Ke tukutuku lau mea ai a ho mou tau anga me he kuohiri. Ke ua na hoko ho mou tau anga.
Ko e whakalaa I sia tamaki. Ka ke hoko ia ko e whakalaa I sia merie. Pea ke mau fu tonu he taimi kotoa pē. O ku hoko mai ai e whatongia ke tari. Ke sifofonga o ki mau tolu o ku mau ihe mohenga o e mamahi. Pea ku mau toanga I ha whakautua whakaesino. Whakaatamai pe whakalau maarie. Whakatawange ki he tautamai he wani. Ke ne whakamalumalu ai pē ki mau tolu he taimi kotoa pē. Lolotonga e whanonga anga. Pea whakatawange ke hoko. Aho mau whaingata ia. Ko ha esi whei lau. Ko e matapā. Pea ko e halanga tāpu aki. Ke whai tāpu e kina ai. Ho tau kainga tonga kotoa pē I he kolope. Pea ke kautaki lotu ha matāpure pea pehe ki he sola mo e vulangi kotoa pē o e kolope. O ku mau mea mai I he pongini. O tau haka he langi kua tau. I he pongi whakakoloa ko e ni. Pea o whakawhetai kotoa pē. I he ke whakainasi ki tau tolu he otua. Aki e mea ofa fungani pea mahu inga taha. Ka koe mea ofa o e mo'ui. Koe le tio Vake Tali Folau ia. Koe whehoko taki anga o e tonga I he kolope. Whakamalo te tiki mo tolu hana kotoa pēo, mo mea mai he pongpongini. Mo kau mai pia mo au I he Polokalama koe ni. Ai whe unu koula ai tonga. Whakahoko atu pia me I he kolo o e kau angelo me Los Angeles, Hollywood, California. E whakamalo whoki ki he pure porisi, malo ai whai whatongia hono toka Ngaahi e tau pāenga. Lawe I oku I kai ke mao ha malolo lelei. Ka oku iaia mau honga ia I he whai whatongia o ke whai. Whakahoko mai pia me he pure porisi ko e tau ata pia moe ongo pe seti e te au. Ko ia pe I hene pehe ho e ki mua kainga. Ka pau e ia I ha paloparema. Ai ongo pe ko e ata. O se whakahoko mai pia me he pure porisi. O ku peseti e te au. Ka ia rewa ha paloparema wakai ange ha o telefoni. Na o ku whia mao ke ki tamatei pia to e whakamoui. Off. Ka to turn on. O ku whanga au e mao pe. I lai sipa ki ko whakamalo atua e kui heni mo ki tau tolu. Pe whoke hoa linsi taka pau tolo po me. Mohokoi nai ata whakamalo atu mohokoi, malo mua e kau mai, pau ku kai ilo I pe u kei Hawaii, I pe u kei Tonga he taimini, kau ofalahi atu ka te koe mohokoi. Ko e si whamiri e ni pea me he kolo whahina. Lucia Louis Thompson. Whakamalo atu ka te koe Lucia, malo mua e tau maua e aho whakakoloa ko eni. Pea whakahoko atu ai ofa ki a Nancy, malo e whaifatongia mai pea me Long Beach, Los Angeles. Tupo peti ahoia whakamalo atu malo e tau maua e pongpong whakakoloa ko eni. Pea whaka Felicia kautai ofalahi atu ke te koe Felicia. Whakamalo atu malo e kau mai. Whakatawange peke ke maua aho o ku whonu I he fia pea mo e tāpua ki he ahoni. O whaatu Felicia. Te maleti fotu o ku whakamalo atu e tau maua e pongpong ko eni. Lucia Louis Thompson, so ku whakare atu ki a te maleti fotu. Hello, te maleti. I noke Maria Funaki, whakamalo atu e kau mai, bape he ki he tofe fine ko e ni, pea me Wellington, New Zealand. O whalahi atu ka te koe mareta, malo e kau mai. Ala keita manu o pangai, whakamalo atu e kau mai, pea me Salt Lake City, whalahi atu ki te koe e ala keita pia ofa atu ki a pasa, ko e tahaia o e kau whakawhawhonga o e lolo kakala te au. Sulieti whehoko o whakamalo atu, malo e tau maua e ahoni sulieti. E tuku mua ke tuku i atu ai whasi ko e ni ke ongo lele i atu, e ko ilo tau o lunga mai a Lucia. Oa. Hei, hei, hei. O ia tau lunga mai ki ai ala keita, mahari e. Hari e. Hei, 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 hei. Mali e Luisa Emma Mahe. Tau o lunga mai goia. Hey Timula, thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Vake Tali Folau Radio. Siale lau kau, whakamalo atu e kau mai, wawhalahi ake te koe, pia mo kalolaine katoa o kune he ni mo ki tau tolu, o whalahi atu kalolaine. Pe foki ki a Atonio Mapapalangi, whamalo atu Atonio malo e kau mai, o whalahi atu ki a te koe. Mele matai tonga tauwha, whamalo e kau mai. Make leta whehoko wharewai, o wha atu ki a te koe. Eika tamare, maua whalahi atu e towe whine koe ni ki he Bay Area, o wha atu ki a te koe eika. Hausia vai lea, o kunei he ni mo ki tau tolu, whakamalo atu, malo e kau mai. E he kia lolohea, whalau moe loa, moe aki. Whakamalo atu lolohea, malo moe tau maua e pongi pongi, whakakoloa ko e ni, whakakoloa e pongpongini. I Ngaahi ku tau inasi i he mea ofa o e mo ui. Ka koe taha ia ha mea ofa o ku fungani pia mahu inga. Koe Ngaahi ka pau he kai ke tau mau ai mea ofa o e mo ui. Ko loa e tau kuri atu. Ko ia kore atu mo e ki pēka share atu e tau Polokalama. Pea koe tau taimi he taimini ko e taha wā whanima. Pea koe toi kuata ki he taha. Taha whanima. Pea koe toi kuata ki he hongofulu māua. I he ahoni whoki ko e hoko pē ai taha hoata. I California ni e hoko atu ai Pome Sisters, pia mo Youth Hour, pia kuia e toke tā he ahoni te nau interview atu, ko ia whaamu ke mo tune in, e whanongo ki he toke tā ko ia, hona whakaeke he Pome Sisters. Ka tū kata mini, ko ueni ki he kau toke tā e toko ua fulu tupu ko interview e he Pome Sisters, i he Polokalama ko ia a Youth Hour. Pea koe ia whakamalo loto hounga moni heni ki a Dr. Afapalu. Ko ia o kune hanga connecti ai kau toke tā, toko lahi au pito, pea oku kei toko lahi pea kau toke tā, o ku hanga e Dr. Afapalu o whakapolokalama i ke nau kau mai ki he a Polokalama ko ia Youth Hour. O ke whai e whinga ke lava ngau e atu ai a tā pe koe Zoom, ki lava o mou mea mai ki he kau toke tā ko ia i he kahau, ka ko e ne mau maari e pe ko tui e whakahoko atu ia. Te maleti fotu whakamalo atu malo e kau mai Stephen Pome e oku nei he ni mo ki tau tolu pea me Australia, whakamalo atu ka te koe Steveni, O whātu ki a nāwu pia pehe ki he whāmiri i Australia. O whātu ki a Flaviana pia pehe ki he whāmiri. A lere mea whaou koe tahaini o kau whawhawhonga lolo ka kala te au, kunei heni mo ki tau tolu, pia whakamalo atu a lere, malo mua tau mao e pongpongi, whakakoloa ko eni, oku whakakoloa e pongpongi, ko hia he tau koloa ia i he ne mea ofa, o kai ke totongi, ko hui ngaha noi mea ofa, he ku i kai ke totongi. Hene ri one kunei heni mo ki tau tolu, ko e tamaki eni pia mei whalaleu, ko e ka inga eni o Emily tofu, hene ri whakamalo atu malo e kau mai maretatu angalu, malo e toi au sia, a whakawaofa ko eni, mo e tauhi e tau mo ui, i he tau folau, ho tau whangaki i waka, o i wāwhe, hua taha, whakawhetai, pe oku hio kai ke mahi no mai tohi ko ani whakawhetai pe oku whewhe hanga e tau mo ui, ka tau whakawhetai, ho tau eiki whakamo ui ko sisu kalaisi, ki ho tau loto, kene eiki waka he folau o e tauni. O whātua ki mou tolu, se misi po me e, pehe ki a linsi, mo e whanau, whakamalo atu e mareta, malo e si whakarea mai, pia mo e poupou. Magereta whehoko whare vai, o ku mau whakamalo ki te koe, e mau tamai he wani, pia moha alo ko sisu kalaisi, ko e aho whaka ofa ko mau wausia. E meni ki ai e magereta whehoko. Aho whaka ofa ko tau wausia. Mo ni lahi au pito. Fauki mo tua puaka whamalo atu malo e tau maua e aho ko e ni pia. O ki ai e fia lahi ko hia ko mo kau mai. Pia o mo mea mai eni ki he Polokalama o e whe unu koula ai tonga. Pia o ku o lawe i ko e aho sāpate ni i Aotearoa. Pia pehe ki Australia. Pea moho tau ki ipure anga ko tonga. Koe aha sāpate ni pa ko lawe i o ku mou teu ke o ki he lotu. Ngāhi mau anga keresi pea manatu i o lotu atu ki mau tolu pea mo e mau whaifatongi atu pea mei he whanua i kale. Ke mau kei hao ai pea pehe ke mau kei mau haivi. Ke whai aki ai whatongi a ko eni o ku whakahoko atu. Aku mau ai o whalahi atu ke te mo tolu hono kotoa pe, ki Aotearoa, Australia, pia mo tonga, pia mo e talamonu atu ka te mo tolu whakatawange ke mo mau, ha aho sāpate o ku whonu i he keresi ai eiki. Pia tukumua ke utuku atu haki fo i hiva ma ki mo tolu, pia mei Australia, te uhiva, ia tupe ki fo i hiva ko e ni o atu ake a talamonu ke te mo tolu, i ho mo wa usia ai aho sāpate, pia koe aho tapu, pia koe aho oi eiki. Koe Amazing Grace. So, happy Sabbath day. Ki te mo tolu hono kotoa, i Aotearoa, tonga pia mo Australia. O whalahi atu. Koe a kou ngāwe mau ki pē maika koe ni he ku. Ki saiange ki he hiva. Pei kai ngatai o ku whaingofua ke u ki tuku atu ke mama o he taimi o ku leo lahi ai ho ku leo. Kai ke he koe ki hiva eu atu koe ni koe Amazing Grace. Pea koe taha ni o e ngahi hiva manako ai Karistiane tokolahi. how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How praises thee that raise appeared, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. These grace has brought me saved thus far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me. His word, my hope, secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life and use. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, with no last days to sing God's praise, than when we're first begun. Io koe tahaia o e hiva mana ko e karistiane ko toa pe. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Pea o ko tau fia ko toa pe. Pea o ko whakawha e lea hiva. They saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Nā ku more ka kua mao. Nā ku kui ka kua lava o sio. Pea whakawhetai ki he otua. O tau ke inasi pe i he ene ofa. Nā tuku mua ke tuku atu e tau Ngaahi whanongonongo. Pea ka ne lava pe ia. E hoko atua e tau Polokalama. Ki he toenga ko ia pea ko ne au pe ko ia ki he taimi kaha. E hoko marewa e Pōmea Sisters pea mo e interview ko ia o e toke tā ki he ahoni. Ka ke he ko e taimini ko e tahataha ni mawhitu pe ko e toe ai miniti e tolu ki he hongofulu maua hoa tā. Pea ko tua ea i Californiani o ku whaka lelei ki momoko ho mau wheitu uni. Pea u talamai he whakamatala ea o ku hangi ka mau ka sinou a pongi. Ko ea ia e tuu ai whakamatala ea ki ho mau wheitu uni o ku lolotonga uha atu ai wheitu i San Bernardino. o tike kia o mai uha ki heni. Pea, kono inga koe anga foke tua sio kalafi ko ia ho mau feitu uni i California, i South California. Koe feitu koni o mau iai o kuia ko Victorville, pea o kuia ko High Desert. Pea o kui koe High Desert, i koe ngahe koe toafa, o ku tuu ia ki he funga mounga. Aia koe hau ko ia pea mei San Bernardino, pea mei LA, o ku kakahake ia ki he mounga, whakafofua mahalo ki he mei fute e tahawhe tupu. Ai maalunga o e mounga koe ni, tahawhe ki he tahawhe ni mangiao. Mahalo koe angai whakafuafua. Pea o ku iai ai toafa o kui koe High Desert. O kui aiba moe Low Desert o tuu ia ki he wheituu San Bernardino. O kui ai wheituu ko Palm Spring. Pea moe Ngaahi wheituu atu ko ia koe Low Desert. Pea koe toafa maulalo. Ko ngahu tuu ia ki he i lalo he mounga. Pea koe High Desert lewa ai toafa i he funga mounga. Ai nia o kui ai a Victorville. Ko Hesperia, Apple Valley, Adelando, pea moe ngahi wheituu koe ni o ku mau iai. Pea o ku fau mai whoki he ni ai freeway tahanima. I-15 freeway o ku leare mai pehene o hanga tonu pe o au ki Las Vegas. Aia ko ginau tolu o ku nau hau ko ia o alu ki Las Vegas. O ku fau mai ia i heni. Pea o ku fau atu ai pe Las Vegas o hoko atu ai pe o alu o tau ki Salt Lake City. Ki he state of Utah. Aia o kuiai a Dr. Afapalu i he feitu o kui ko Provo. Pea ko nea o kui ki Provo pea o toi hoko atu ai o au ki Salt Lake City. Ko Salt Lake City o tokolahi au pito ai ka inga tonga o kuiai. O kuiai ai tangata koe ni ko umu manatau, pea mohono whamiri, pea mo tupou manatau. Pea mo tokolahi o hange ko Silia. Tuatonga. Pea pehe ki he whamiri tokolahi au pito o kui kautonga tokolahi o kui Salt Lake City. Kai kehe ko yanga ia si o kalafi ko ia o tuu ko ia fou mai pea mei LA, kakahake ki he mounga, o au mai ki he toafa he funga mounga, aia ko he High Desert, o alu ai peo au ki Las Vegas, mana tu ia lea koe a Las Vegas. What happened in Las Vegas? Stays in Las Vegas. Koe lea ia Las Vegas. Mea kotoa pe o hoko i Las Vegas, tuku pe ia Las Vegas. Moutolu koe o hao koe a pe mei tonga koe ki heni, alu ki Las Vegas, tuku pe me aia i Las Vegas, Kai kehe, ka koe anga koe a whakamatala ea, koe wheitu konu mau iai, ko ngā koe High Desert, o tu ia ke mo unga, pe o ku whaingofua a ea o hifo a snow. Aia koe levolo koe ia o momoko, aia wau koe ki tu unga koe ia o snow. Kamata ia me he tumutumu e mo unga, o aluhifo, o au mai koe ia koe, kia ki mautolu, o ku kei ihe maolunga pe ia o e mo unga. Pea koe whakamatala e aia, o hange ka mau ka sinou a pongi pongi, moe mo ni te. O ku mau ki whanonga tu whoki he taimi momoko, pe koe winter. Pea o ku toki osi ai winter, o whakakamata ai spring, i maasi. Aia koe whahaita uia o spring, maasi e peleri, me, pe kamata rewa i sune, ai summer, sune siulai a kosi. Pea kamata rewa ai fall, September, Oktober, November. Pea kamata rewa ai winter, December, January, February. Pea kamata rewa ai spring, ai au maulolotonga i he winter he taimini. Pea koe nea o koe ki maasi, koe spring ia, pe koe taimia o ku fisi ai, pea whailau ai akau, koe spring, taimia o e mo ui. Kai ke he koe anga ia ki whakamatala ki he anga o sio kalafi pia mo e tuu ko ia a ea i he whei tuu ko ni oku mau iai. Kai ke he koe he taimini koe osi a mini te tolu pia me he hongo fulu maua. Koe siva store whakawhea atu ki mau tolu.
Mele neu alo mau e no pako aratu ki ai te ai mo e va ia ai Siva Capital ko Siva Store ma o Ngaahi Versa ma ka hoa hausu ka fofa ka e ma o me te online mele ma me pare kon na arko ki ai ma ko no he vai pena te va ko Siva Store he vai ngofua te tala pe o tape tai mini I kai ko faria ko o wola yes wonderful la pe ke tanga o tape online I patalele va piki ai foi hau ko Ai mo foi kahoa ko
www.shopsiva.com Makaerewa ki e ma website I peke tori mo whiri mea whaahinga ke kehepe oi kato. La lahi mo iki, la nu kehe. Ma o mea ai hau I kalas ke kehepe tau te whito ki ngai te sairi whakapasifiki. Iwe aue teke mau atu mo mata sio ata ia whaahinga kalasis whaahinga lanu whaahinga style pe. Tori mo whiri rewa pia me iai. Oa teke toi tatari hu rewa ki www.shopsiva.com
Tau Siva Store ki ai
Io Siva Store ki ai, ko o ewai whope ki he www.shopsiva.com be ko e phone number taha walu no noa, ono noa fitu wha walu ua, be ko email ki he info@shopsiva.com, ewa mai lewa ki he Siva Store, o tori mo whiri ai I he ngahi koloa kehe I he pēsi, I he mataso ata, pia mo he ngahi koloa kotoa pe o lava ke tori mo whiri ai, koe Valentine is coming up, so check a Siva Store ke kumi mea I ho ngahi mea ofa ki he ofa anga. Pega I ngā tai whoki koe whanongonongo ko ia pea mei he lolo kakala te au. Pea mohono ngahi lolo ki he Valentine. Pea mohono ngahi lotion. Koe Valentine, o kia specialo ai lolo kakala te au. Koe seti ki he ofa anga. Tangata mo e whewhine. I o ka special ko ia lolo kakala te au ki he Valentine ho ik maka inga oua na ake tō ai. Ko whakamanatu atu ki a te koe.
Ko iai halolo ia ko Ngaahi pia vilohi, pia mix mei parataisi. Ke whakatori a Ngaahi whakaamu whakasino mo ata mai. Ke mili pia ke whakasanisani mo masani mo whakamanifi. Pia ke foto aki ia ki hakatoa ngā aholahi. Pia ke toki ilo ai e mamani, koe loloni ia, koe tāpu aki mei langi. O ua, Teke ae lolo, kakala te au, ene manongi, whakatalu, o kai fiafi, pea ne ngangatu, ene tō o ngaki a koe moau.
Io ho ik maka inga ko special ko ia a lolo kakala te au. Ko ho o whetutaki mai pe ki a Lindsay. Pe koe tare ki tā, la tū manu ki a hua kau. Pe koe taha pe o kau whakafofonga. O ota mai a special ko eni. O kui ai a seti lolo e ua. Seti lolo ki he hou eiki tangata. Seti lolo ki he hou eiki whawhine. Pea pehe o ki ai pea moe lotion ai. Koe kakala ki hou eiki tangata. Pea moe kakala ki hou eiki whawhine. Pea kui ai pea moe fo I roll on ai e ua. Ko e taha o e kakala ki he ho e ki whawhine. Pea moe kakala ki he ho e ki tangata. Pea pe he foki o kui ai pea moe seti vesa wasi. Taha ki he ho e ki tangata. Pea taha ki he ho e ki whawhine. Pea ukai ngata ai foki ho e ki moe ka inga. O ki ai pea moe koa kau ko ia o ku Ngaahi pea mei he niu. O ku kau ia I he gift bag ki ko eni o e Valentine. Pea ku kai ngata ai o ki ai pea moe lipstick ki he hou eiki whawhine. I he kato ko eni ai Valentine. Ko ia o whakawhi ki mautolu ke mo whetu taki mai ki he fitu ono noa ono walu ono noa ua ki a Lindsay takapau tolo po mee. Pea ko whetu taki ki he tare ki tā hua vai maka. Pea ko hataha pe o e kau whakafofonga o ke talange pe ki ai o kofie ota haku gift bag mo haku mea ofa ki hoku ofa anga I he Valentine. Pea e ngā ue rewa ki ai a e lolo kakala te au kau whakafofonga pe he ke tare ki tā pea mo Lindsay ke lava whakafolau atu ke au ki mua I he Valentine. Pe kapau ke loto ke mau whakakakato ai mea kotoa pe o kau ai pea mo e kāti Valentine ke aluhanga tonu pe pea meiheni ki ho ofa anga o ku mau lava pe o whakahoko mo e whatongia ko ia. Pea whakamooni pe ai hingoa uku ke o mai I he kāti ko ia. Pea whakamooni atu ai pe moho hingoa I lalo I he kāti. Pea kapau ke loto ke iai hafo I lolo o ku ai ki he hingoa ho ofa anga o ku lava pe mo ia e he lolo kakala te au. Ke whakamanatu aki ai Valentine ko ni. Ke hoko ai Valentine ko ni. The most beautiful, the most unforgettable Valentine I ho o mo'ui. Pea e tu'u ai pe fu I hingoa ia ko ia o e lolo pe ko e kaloni pe ko e lousini ko ia ai hingoa ho ofa anga. Pea ho o sio pe ki ai ke manatu I pe ho ofa anga. Ko ia ko e special o ia pea mei he lolo kakala te au. Pea ko e Ngaahi kāti ko eni o e Valentine. Te maulava pe o ai ho hingoa. Whakamoni ai ho hingoa. Pea tu'u atu I lalo pea meiho ofa anga. Pea moho hingoa. Pea te mohanga rewa ia o whao I he kato ko eni. Valentine. Pea hange ko ia nang whakahoko atu ka pau ke loto ke mau ai ka kato. O whakafolau pe mei heni ki ho ofa anga. Ko e surprise o humau lava le leipe. Ko ia whitutaki mai rewa ki a Lindsay takapau tolo po mee. I he fitu ono noa ono walu ono noa ua pe tene whakaiki iki atu. Ai Ngaahi gift bag ko eni ki he Valentine. Pake otai pe a ho gift bag ki mua ai Valentine ke lava o au ki ai. Make this Valentine the most unforgettable and the most beautiful Valentine of all time. Make me happy. Iyo. Tiny bubble.
Make me warm all over.
The happy Valentine ya tiga motol hono koto ape. Tiny bubble.
So here's to the golden moon, and here's to the silver sea, and mostly here's it goes to you and me.
Oh, tiny bubble.
In the wine,
Koya baby.
make me happy,
Make me happy.
make me feel fine.
Make me feel fine.
Tiny bubble,
Tiny
make me warm
bubble.
all over. With a feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time.
Ia hoi makainga o toi whakamanato atu ke te mautolu, ko e special ko ia ai lolo kakala te au ki he Valentine. Whetutaki mai ki a linti pe ko latu manukia huakau, pe ko he taha peo kau whakafofonga o kunau taritari atu ke whakalato ho o fia mau ki he Valentine. Moni lawa hiwa ko any tiny bubble. Make me happy, make me feel fine. Ko ave pe ho Valentine gift bag. You're gonna make a loved one happy. He's gonna feel fine, feel great.
So here's to the ginger lane I give from you today.
A gift from you
And
today.
here's a gift that will not fade away.
A gift that don't fade away.
Tiny bubble
Tiny bubble.
in the wine. Make me happy,
Make me happy.
make me feel fine.
Make me feel fine.
Tiny bubble,
Oh
make me
wow.
warm all over. With a feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time.
Ia hoi makainga. Ko e whanongonongo ia pea mei he lolo kakala te au. Ko e lofa talamatangi. Polokalama ia ki he poto whakaata mai pea moe ako. Ko e visone ia tokta a whapalu. Pea kukawai, pea moe youth hour, a ene visone ki he kahau.
Ko e lofa talamatangi. Ngāhi mātua, o kumoa sia nai hono whakaukau I hafounga, ke mauai ha tipiloma, ha taha ho whanau na nofo mihe ako, pe o kuke o sia nai koe, he ikai ke lelei, pe futo lalo a si whainga whakaako a ho whanau, mo kau mai rewa ki he Polokalama lofa talamatangi, I he fiafi pule lulu katoa pe, me he ono e fiafi ki he hiwa e fiafi, taimi a ita, ka ke whakatu a meria rewa koe, ki ha mea o tau he fuuteri o yako. Ko e Polokalamani, tene to'o mo tafi ho o ongo sia whakaako, ka e lava ho whanau ke nau whakau tu, mo nau ngahi tipiloma, ki ha ka urelei ai whamiri, siasi, pia moe whanua. Io, kau mai ki he lofa talamatangi, me he reti o Vake Tali Folau, ke tau whiringi aki, mo ngau e whakataha, ke langa e tonga katoa pe I tonga eiki, pe I he tapa pe o I kolope. Whapapatu, awhapam.
O ko hei lai koe nuku hiwa. I kai, koe vai nonu ia e tau whangakui o katoa ia ono aho mo no pōni, pe whakasai nisa ahono Ngaahi, he e kuinu ngofua ahono anga, pia taha afe nimangi au ahono mamana, seuke, pia toi whakaatu I foki mo hono katala. He ko hono aonga ko tāgi tahi, pia tāgi uta, no ngā ia suka, ngā koe toto, mo toto maolunga, saigi ai arthritis, kauti, pia moe kahi. Pia whakatau pasi ai mafte fua, ata mai, moe iwi lahi. Kai whanaafi ai mo uilelei he ko hono tavi ia. He koe nonu, nai tori ia mi Hawaii, Tahiti, Haamoa, pia mo Tonga, pia kuone mafola I Europe, Asia, pia mo Amerika lahi. Koe nuku hiwa ia pia mo hono ngahi aonga, tā rewa, ke otaha o nuku hiwa, ki he ono valua, ni ma ono wha, fitu no ono ataha. Ono valua, ni ma ono wha, fitu no ono ataha.
Ia hoi mo ka inga ko e tau taimi he taimini ko osia minite taha fitu pea me he taha. Pea I he tala taimi whaka Amerika ko e taha fitu. 117 pe ko e taha walu he taimini. Pe ko e tala taimi whaka Piritania ko e 18 minutes after 1. Ko ia hoi mo ka inga ko e ngahi whanangonongo ia pea me he kau sponsor ngahi sevesi o ku lava ke aonga ke te motolu ka inga tonga pea ko e whai whatongia ia ai lolo kakala te au. Kai ke he umolotonga mea mai ni ki he Polokalama ko ia ai whe unu koula ai tonga whakahoko atu pea me Los Angeles, Hollywood, California. And to all our non-Tongan listeners and viewers, I like to say, welcome. Malo lele, Bisong Pulavinaka, Talafalama, Kia ora and aloha.
In Hawaii they say aloha oe, but in America, happy day.
Yeah, once again to all our non-Tongan listeners and viewers, I'd like to say,
in Tonga they say
Malo lele,
in Fiji they say
Sambula vinaka,
in Samoa they say
Talo falava,
in New Zealand they say
Kia ora oe,
in Hawaii they say
aloha, aloha.
America, the happy day.
So thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining us. And welcome to the Vake Tali Folau Radio. This is your Tongan Global Radio broadcasting live from Los Angeles, Hollywood, California. My name is Vake Tali Folau, aka James Bond 007. Today is a great day here in Southern California, Los Angeles, Hollywood, California. Everything is beautiful. And according to the weather forecast, looks like we are going to have snow either tomorrow or Monday. Snow is great. Other than that, everything is beautiful here. Once again, this is Tongan Global Radio broadcasting live from Los Angeles, Hollywood, California. And again, my name is Vake, aka James Bond 007, and wish you a happy and a very, very blessed day today. And happy Sabbath day to all our Tongans in New Zealand, Australia, and Tonga. Whakatawangi ke moma uha sāpate o kufonu I he keresi mo laumari o eiki pia mo manatua I pia ki mautolu I ho mo Ngaahi ho alotu. He taimini te o atu lewa ai whakamumui taha pe koe latest o e tuunga o kuiai ai COVID taha hiwa I he ngahi ahoni. Pe koe anga lewaeni a ene tuu whakamamani lahi. Kone au kuia koe ki he ahoni koe whahinga ko nau osi puke I he kolona vailasi ko e toko hiwa miriona ma tahamano o noafe whangeau whangofulu maua. Hiwa miriona. Toi si ipe pe au ki he te au miriona. Tu he taimini hiwa miriona ma tahamano o noafe whangeau whangofulu maua. Pea I he matai whika ka pau ke whemau ki ke tohi hifo, koe aho ua tolueni o Sanuari, koe hiwa noa taha ono wha ua. Pea koe hiwa miriona mā taha mano o noafe whangofulu. Mo kataki koe telefoni o ku te ke hoka. Whakamane more atu e whahinga unau. Si whainga ke tā mai. Ka koe ni os whakawa atu. A tā pepe a tā mai. Ki he telefoni koe fitu ono noa ono walu ono. Taha ono fitu. Kai kehe koe tuunga ia coronavirus i he ahoni. Koe hiva miliona ma taha mano no afe whango fulu whaua. Koe tokolahi o e mate o au mai ki he ahoni. Koe toko ua miliona taha kilu ua mano ua afe hivangi au ono tolu. Ua miliona taha kilu ua mano ua afe hivangi au ono tolu. Koe tokolahi ia o kakai ko si more nau mo ui i he ngā ue ai COVID taha hiva. Pea koe whahinga ko nau osi sai, nau osi mo ui, pea me he COVID taha hiva, koe toko fitu taha miliona, taha kilu ni mamano, taha afe, ma taha tolu. Aia koe tokolahi koe ni oe mate, ua miliona, taha kilu, ua mano, ua afe hivangi au ono tolu. O kusi ka wai si o tau ka i ngā tonga i he Ngaahi mata i whika ko eni. Pene ongo o ku whakaloloma. Ai singa i mo ui ko more atu i he ngā ue COVID taha hiva. I he toko ua miliona taha kilu a mano ua afe hivangi au ono tolu ko eni. Ka huiai e tau o ngoi. Si whahinga ko eni ko hiki atu. Iai mo si whahinga na toki hiki atu he wike ko osi. Whakaloloma upito. Hoko mai ai COVID taha hiva. O ne hanga o whakamāwai ai ki tau tolu. Koe tuku ko ia koe i Amerikani. I Amerikani pe. Koe tokolahi o ki nau tolu ko nau osi puke i he COVID taha hiva. Koe toko ua 5 miliona. Wha kilu. Ua mano. Tolu afe. Ua ngiau fitu tolu. Ua 5 miliona. Wha kilu. Ua mano. Tolu afe. Ua ngiau fitu tolu. Pea i he hoa ua wha pe koe ni ko osi. Koe toko tolu. Toko tolu mano. Tolu afe. Ua ngiau tolu taha. Tolu mano. Tolu afe. Ua ngiau tolu taha. 33,231 new cases. Pe koe nau tolu na toki puke i he hoa ua wha koe ni ko osi. Pe koe ke si whahinga nai more nau mo ui hoa ua wha koe ni ko osi na whi unga mo toko fitu ngeau walu tolu. I he hoa ua wha pe koe ni ko osi ko fitu ngeau walu tolu. Ko pirita nia, koe tokolahi taha ia o e mate i he hoa ua wha koe ni ko osi. Ka taki ko Mexico. Tokolahi taha ia mate i he hoa ua wha koe ni ko osi. Koe toko taha afe wha ngeau wha noa ko more nau mo ui i Mexico. I he hoa ua wha koe ni ko osi. Pea ko ki nau tolu kua puke i he coronavirus i he hoa ua wha koe ni ko osi i Mexico. Fe unga ia mo toko ua mano taha afe ma fitu. Ua mano taha afe ma fitu. Ai puke ko eni. Pea me iai o ku iai ai toko taha afe wha ngiau wha noa na ikai ke nau tau whonua. Pea i Britania Pea I Piritania, koe ginau tolu na e puke I he houa e wawha koe ni kua osi. Na e whiunga pea mo e toko tolu mano, tolu wafe, nima ngeau, nima ngofulu maua. Whahinga ia na toki puke I he houa e wawha pe koe ni kua osi I Piritania, na e whiunga mo e toko tolu mano, tolu wafe, nima ngeau, nima ngofulu maua. Pea I he toko tolu mano, tolu wafe, nima ngeau, nima ngofulu maua ko ia, na ia toko taha afe tolu ngeau whango fulu maa walu na ikai ki tau whanua. Na si more e nau mo ui. Aia koe toko lahi taha ia o e more ai mo ui, ko Piritania, pea mo Mexico. Ko Australia lewa, ko fisi o tike ki te iai ha case for all, ko e toko ua pe ko mate I fisi. Ka koe case I whakatoa I fisi, o ku whiunga pea mo e toko nime nima. Aia koe toko nime nima, na nau puke I fisi. Ko Vanuatu, toko taha pe ko puke I Vanuatu. Ko Haamoa, ko e toko ua pe ko puke I Haamoa, o tike ki ai ha mate I Haamoa. Ko Wallis, Futuna mo Uvea, ko toko wha ko puke I Futuna pea mo Uvea. Ko Solomone, ko toko taha fitu ko puke I Solomone. New Caledonia, toko wha ko puke I New Caledonia. Ka koe ngai fitu ko toa koe ni o ku whakalau atu ko ni, o tike kia ha mate ai. Tuku ke he pea fisi, o ki ai ai toko ua na e malolo I fisi. Ka koe keisi ko ia fisi, ko toko nime nima ko puke I fisi. Pea ko New Caledonia, tike kia ha mate I New Caledonia, ka koe toko wha eni ko puke I New Caledonia. I Papua New Guinea, ko toko valungeau tolu nima. Valungeau tolu nima ko puke I he coronavirus I Papua New Guinea. Pea ko toko hiva ai ko more e nau mo ui I Papua New Guinea. Pea I Nusila lewa, ko whahinga ko puke I Nusila he coronavirus o ko whiunga pea mo toko waafe, uangeau fitu nima. Pea ko toko lahi o ngahi mo ui ko more I Nusila, whiunga pea mo toko ua nima. I hono whakaavarisi ko ia ki he toko lahi o Nusila, o ku kau ia I he peseti si I au pito. Whatatau e toko lahi o Nusila ki he toko lahi o ki nau tolu ko puke, toko waafe, uangeau fitu ono, toko wanima ko mate. Te keikei ai ha to e puke I Nusila, peu te keikei to e ai ha to e mate I he konga mai koe ni ki mui I Nusila. So o ku mahino mai o ku fulelei o pito e ngawe a Nusila ki hono malu I ko ia o e kolona vailasi. Hono uhi ngā whaki ko e mahaki ko e ni o ku whaingo fua a ene mafola o ku hange ia ha te volo o kaike whai ha sio ki ai, ka une whai e tā mate. Ai ko teimi une hū mai ai ko to whare, o kaike te ilo kita o kui ai fu te volo ko ia. Ko teimi pe o toki ilo ai na e ihoto api e fu te volo ko ia, ko e puke ha taha, pe ko e hiki atu ha taha, me ihoto api. Ko ia ko nu sila ia, toko wafe uang iau fitu ono, ko puke i he kolona vailasi, pe ka pau na e kaike sai ngā oe a nu sila, na e toe hanga e toko wafe uang iau fitu ono ko e ni, o toi whakamafola atu, o riuriunga atu. Ka hunga ko e nau talango fua ki he tutu uni ko ia ai potu ngā oe mo ui, o ku kei malu ai, o ikai ke toi fu tokolahi pe ai puke, pakai ke toi tokolahi ai mate. Whakamu pe ke puke ai pe i he tokolahi ko ia, ke ua toi ai whahinga e toi puke, pe te kovea nge ki ua to iai ha whaahinga e toe more e nau mo ui. Kei kehe ko e hoko atuheni ki Tahiti, French Polynesia. Ai koe ngahi otu motu ko ni koe oku nau anda i Flanche, koe tokolahi o ki nau tolu ko nau puke he ni kawai a Tahiti. Kawai pea mo ngahi feitu uko ia o ku anda i Flanche, French Polynesia, toko tahamano fitu afe, valunge au ni maua, a ki nau tolu ko puke, pea feunga a ki nau tolu ko more na mo uimo toko te au ua valu. Te au ua valu. Pea ko Australia leva, feunga toko lahi o ki nau tolu ko puke i he kolona vailasi Australia, feunga mo toko ua mano valuafe fitunge au ono ua. Ua mano valuafe fitunge au ono ua. Dikei ki toi ai ha mo ui e more i he houa ua whaa koe ni ko osi. Ka koe toko fitu na anau toi puke i he houa ua whaa ko e ni ko osi. Ai aku mahino mai oku kei mafola pe i Australia, ka aku very slow. Whakatawange pe oku tokanga pe kakai, kai ki hanko Amerika ni oku noa ia pe ai o ngai feitu o pe me hange koe keep your distance, pe moe mask, pe moe whanawhano, oku ikai ke fuu whakamato ato i hono whai i Amerikani. Pea ko mea ia mahalo oku lahi pe hei whawai ai kakai oku nau puke, koe pe whahinga oku nau whakahi ehi, ka koe uhi ko ki nau tolu oku ikai ke nau mui mui ki he tuutu uni ko ia, ai kautaki pea moe put ngau mo ui. O kua uai ki he tokolahi ko eni. Ai ki nau tolu oku puke, na te whito ki Amerikani, fui hoa ua whaape koni ku osi, na te puke ai a toko tolu mano tolu afe uangi au tolu taha. Pako ki ilo i he matai whika ko eni, pe oku to iai hatau ka inga tonga, oku nau toi puke atu he hoa ua whaa koni ku osi pe ikai tau. Amanaki pe oku ikai. Te amanaki pe ikai ngā tonga hangi koe whakahoko atu e he pure, sione tu alau makahiri pia mo he kautoke tā oku nau hanga o whare i atu ai whakaehi pia mo he whakamatala ki he whakatu utamaki o e COVID tāhiwa. Whakatawange pe ki tau tauhilelei, oro hui ngā he oku ke iai pe ai puke, pia koe mea e taha o ku whakaamu pe ke mahino i he kainga tonga. Pia ko tui pe o ku to tonu ke mahino i he tau whanau. Koe mea pango whoki koe tokolahi o whanau o ku keike nau mahino i he tau rea whakatonga. Kau whaamu pe ke na hanga mahino i ai fo i mooni ko eni. Ko immune system Ko taimi ko ia o ku vai ai immune system. Tau te fito ko taimi ko ia koe o si matu o tu ai kakai ta umotua. Pe kai ke ngata ai ko pre-existence whahinga unau si i suka. Pe ko toto maalunga. Pe ko mahaki mafu. Pe ko whahinga na stroke. Ko whahinga ko ni o kunau tuu lavea ngofua au pito. Ki he COVID tahahiwa. Kono hinga he konau immune system o ku vai au pito, maulalo. Ko e tau tupu mo nau tolu kei talavou ku kei malohi o nau immune system. Pia koe tahai o e paloparema o ku whai ai whihangahangai mo ia tau te fito ki Amerikani. Kono hinga he o ku ngata pe hono a koi ko eni o kakai i he kakai matu o tua. Kakai matu o tua. Pia ko mimi koe kakai ia o nau ova i he tau wau ko ia koe ko kamata ke holo a ho nau immune system. Pia kono whakarea taha o ku lava ke nau lavea i he COVID tahahiwa. Pia lava ke nau tokoto whare mahaki. Pia lava ke more a e nau mo ui. Ka kohinga koe kai ke fumahu inga ko ia ki he whanau tupu. Pea koe kai ke nau whaka ehi ki nau tolu. Pe kono hinga he koe kai ke fuue sia e nau mo ui a nau tolu ai. Pe ko whakaamu pe si kau toke tā. Ko eni o ku Polokalama mai i he le tio Vake Tali Folau. Whakaonga tupe si o ne tu alau makahiri. Na alava ke whakahoko mai he kau toke tā. Ha Polokalama ma kehe kihe e tau whanau o ki kai ke nau mahino i a lea whakatonga. Ke toi whakamamafa i ange. Ke nau ilo o ku nau sai pe ki nau tolu. Ka koe teimi koe koe o kai ke nau mahu inga ia i he whaka ehi i he tui ai mask, i he tuku ai onoa ia ki he ngai wheitu o. Ko ngahe te nau o pe nau tolu he ngai wheitu o, pe nau o mai pe moe COVID tahahiwa. Pe he kai ke asi as symptoms pe koe ngai whaka ilonga ia ko ia o e COVID tahahiwa. Ka e vave ene asi ana ia i he nau foki mai ki api, ke ki nau tolu o ku nau si tau motua pe koe pre-existence ngahi mahaki o ku nau puke ai. Pea kou tui pe o ku mahu inga ke whai ha tokanga makehe ki ai. He ku tau whai pe hono whakamatala i whakatonga. Ka kui nau tolu ke nau mahino i a lea whakatonga. Te nau kei alu pe nau tolu i he e nau founga mo e nau anga o e nau lere pehe ku vave pe peisia e nau mo ui. O kai ke nau whaatuu ke whakatoka ngai. Ai mahu inga o e mea ko eni. He ku nau alu pe nau tolu ngai wheituu alu ki he. Pea nau maa wai COVID tahiwa. Pa o kai ke ilonga ia hi a nau tolu. He kei malohi o nau immune system. Ka koe teimi ko nau foki mai ai ki api ki a mami mo te ti pe ko si i whaahinga o nau toule ke reka. Pea te nau mo uilelei pe ki nau tolu. Pea koe teimi koe e si whainga tuai ai mātu mo ofa mai tuku e o ngai wheitu na mau si puke. Koe nau tari pe, oh it's fine, nothing wrong, it's fine, it's fine. We're not gonna get sick. Koe ngahe koe ke fumahu inga ia ka nau tolu o hange koe si kau toule ke reka. Koe kau toule ke reka o ku toe tai ipe mo ui. Pea unau whakaamu koe ki toenga mo ui ko ia ke whakaehi i mua. Ke ue sia ke more ai e nau mo ui. Ka koe taimi ko ia koe toki more ai mo ui ai si i whaahinga koe ni o ku tuu lavea ngofua. Pea whakaongo atu, koe more mo ui he COVID tahahiwa. Pea toki whai hake a ka kua tō mui. Pea kutui o mahu inga au pito ki he tō tupu, ki nau tōlu e tau whanau o ku nau kei mālohi. Kei mālohi o nau immune system, pea o kei mālohi o nau sino mo e mea kotoa pe. Pea kui kai ke nau fu mahu inga ia ki nau tōlu, koe koloa peka nau tōlu, o ku mālohi o nau sino, pea kai ke nau puke. O kai ke nau hanga whakatoka ngai, ai mahu inga, ai si mātua i api, he te nau alu ki he, ngahi whakataanga koe, alu ki he whangawhreni. Pea koe whangawhreni ko ia, una wō ki a wheitu, o ku hiai e mahaki ai, puke mai me ai, o hau ia, pa toi hau whangawhreni, o mau mo ia. Pea koe ke ilonga ia, he umalohi o nau sino. Ka uku iai ia te nau tolu. E toki asi ia aho e whiha ki mui, ka koe kau tuulawe ngofua, the most vulnerable, koe mātua vai, ta ufitu ngofulu, walu ngofulu, hiwa ngofulu, pea tau te whitu ke te nau tolu, nau si puke he suka, toto maolunga, pea moe mafu moe, ngahi ala mea, mahaki kehe pehe, o au ki he kansa. Ko ki nau tolu ia o ku tuulawe ngofua, po ki nau tolu ia o nau si whaka mai, mo ofa mai, o te mo o ki a wheitu. Ako teimi koe a koe e toki more ai mo ui, pia whakaongo atu ta mahi toke tā, koe si mālolo koe COVID tahiwa. Pia toki hahaka hake ke e olo pia vaccine ko toa ngahi mea i whare, pia whano. Koe mea kui koe toki fixe a ko hola he hosi. Ka kai ke fixe taimi koe o ku kei loto ai hosi ko hinga ke u ai hola. Tāria ke toki puria hosi o alu ki tua, na kai ke fixe a o kuawa peia. Pe o pehepe. O dari ke toki si more ai mo ui ai teti, pe koe mami, pe koe grandma, pe koe grandpa, pe toki lere takai lewa o mai e mea ke fufulu ake whare, pe whakamaa, pe whano. It's too late. Ko ia ko whakaamu pe si kai ngā tonga. Ke toi whakamanatu atu mua ki he tau whanau. Whakamanatu atu he tau whanau, ke tau kau whakataha. I hono whakamanatu. Ko hingahe koe taime ni ihi. O kurea tu koe mātu a, ki he whanau, ki he mea ko ia. O hange tāpu ni honau te ringa o nau toro. Hono hingahe nau pe, they overreact. They overreact na wiri fia he mahaki o kai ke mau puke mau tolu mea. Kai ke mau puke mau tolu ka. The young ones, because they have strong immune system, symptoms is not going to show. Because most vulnerable, those are in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and the pre-existent disease, si whahinga ko ia o kunau puke he suka moe, mafu. The other one is going to suffer. So I hope, and I pray ke uana to iai hataha tau kai ngā tonga e more mo ui ko hia koe. I kai ke whare i a whanau. He koe lahi taha ia o ki nau tolu o nau si puke. Mana tuina e toko tahana si tā mai. Eke mai ai mea koe ana mateiki he taimina mau puke ai. Koe whakamatala mai toko taha koe ma whanongo atu ki he taimina mo whakamatala ai ho mo whainga tā ia na alu noa pe hoku loi mata. Pea ko whiu whainga ki he whanau. Ke nau tala mai mua pe koe hae ai lau a toke tāna na o sivi. Pe koe nau tari, it's fine, nothing. ko si whai atu ai tangata e ki. Mo mai mua ki hei tau tala noa pe ko hai mea oku o na uo pe ta koe o na hao pe moe COVID tahiwa. Ui ko o si pe si hiki atu atako taha koe ni. Na whai a ene si whaka amu ke tau koni ange whanau ke ki toenga mo ui o kui ai. A honi more tama ia. Toki mahu inga ia i he koloa he ne more. Ko iai ho eki mai ka inga ko whaamu pe. Pe he ki he pure, Dr. Afapalu. Mo ki mautolu hono kotoa pe. For those who can say something in a special program so that our young ones can understand. Kina hanga mahi noi. The most vulnerable are the ones we worried about. Koe kakai au totoni ki tau futokanga upito ki ai. He wosi hoko eni he uko osi. Si toko taha na e whai holo pe a tā mai o fie mao e ngahi mea koe na mateke o atu ai vitamini mo ngahi mea katoko. Ka koe kia hano aonga ka pau oku. Ikai alu pe whanau ia ngai wheitu o ku iai maha ki o hau pe mo ia. It doesn't help ka pau oku ikai ke tautou whakamanatu, tautou whakam... Kei te aonga e tangi ia he ahoni o more tamai kana si whai e kore atu. Mo ofa mai o whakahi e. Pako tui kei hoko pe he ahoni. Ai kore ai si kau vai vai, mo kau matu a, mo kau maha ki. I mo ofa mai o te mo o ke ngai wheitu u, mo ofa mai o na who mau. Ko hingai koe nau, ukai ke nau fia mate he taimini, ukiai ngai whatongia ke whai. Pea neongo koe mate, ko pau ke tau fou katoa ai. Ka tau ula ki whainga mua ke tau whakaehi ehi mo malu i e tau mo ui. Ko inga ko whakaamu pe, ko whakamalo ki he pure. Sentu alau makahiri mo e meri. I he tautou whakatokanga, tautou whakatokanga. Ka koutui pe, ko ngai whakatokanga ko ia aonga ia ki he kakai lalahi. Aonga ia ki he kakai o nau mahi no ia rea whakatonga. Ka ko imi ko ki nau tolu, o ku nau malohi o nau sino, pia malohi o nau immune system. Toko sia nau tolu ia o nau hanga mahi no ia rea whakatonga. Pe tau whakalere pe tolu, tau Polokalama he rea whakatonga. Ka hekai ki mahu inga ega nau tolu. Ko iai o whakaamu pe, kai ha Polokalama make. Pia whakawhia tau whanau ki ai. Ke nau whanongo tonu mea kau toke tā, pia mea te nau tolu e kau tau kei he mala e koe ni. Si kau nau tolu e kau nes, kau toke tā, nau ngau e front line. Lava ke nau lea mai ke whanau. He ui mei tō pe tau whamama wha ke whakaluku fua pe ke tau kakai. Ka iai ha Polokalama make. Ke rea hanga tonu mai ke whanau e mahu inga. Ke nau whakaehi te ria ki nau tolu, nau most vulnerable, nau tolu, nau tuu lawe angofua. Ko ia pia whakaamu ko hia koe. Si tokotaha koe ni na e tā mai. Kai ngata pe si tala mai ne tangi he whanongo mai ke vahe atu e mau whaingata ia. Ka koe ne whakaamu ke ne whanau ke nau talanoa mai mo whakahi ehi. Mo ne kore ka nau tolu ke tuku mua mo alu ke ngai wheitu u. Ko tō mui he ahoni. Kau kei taimi pe ke tau toe whakamamawhai pe te ria a singahi mo ui o ku te kei ke more. Ke uana toi more ha mo ui. Makatu unga i he ikai ke lava ho tau whatongia. Whai pe whatongia i he paenga Vake Tali Folau. Ke whakamamawhai atu mo whakamanatu atu mo tala atu ai lahi o mate ukai pe ke whai ki lalo alu pe ki olu. Sio ke Amerikani toko tolu mano tolu afe uang iau tolu taha ini. Fui hoa ua wha pe koni ku osi. Paka toko fitung iau walu tolu. Fitunga walu tolu ko ni o ke na si atau tongai. Fefe ai hoa ua whaka hoko mai si whahinga e si malolo ai. Ai ko toko tolu mano tolu afe ua ngeau tolu taha ko ni o ke na si atau kainga tonga ai o ku kau he puke ko ni na toki puke hoa ua whaka ni ku osi. O ku lava pe ke tau to e to whaingange ka koutui o ku lava pe ke to e huange ai kia ko ia o e mau whaifatongia i he le tio Vake Tali Folau ki ha kia o ku to e malohi ange ke whakakau ai a hono tau whakamanatu ki he tau tupu ki nau tolu ke nau mahino e rea whakatonga so they may understand how important to help the most vulnerable. Ke o te tau te sio ke he toi tānaki mai ha fo i mo ui more. E ke hoi makainga ko e whakamuimuia o e latest ki he tau tuunga o e corona vailasi. Pea kuai pea e whakaamu. Kuai e whakaamu ke tau ngau e whakataha. Tūmua ke o atua e ki whanononga ko e ni.
La mai lolo palesi mo lolo francais ko tau pepe lolo me loto Hollywood seu ke kai pe ko fo star et five ko te ke fai ka pakao angelo ko lo ia kau angelo hoek mo kai ngatonga mamani ko tau pepe ko lo kau angelo pe mahino leva ko loloni ko to ngai me hina lolo ala pasita amele maktarine le fatalonga mai atu fio mo kakala iloa le furi me ot motuanga ofa ke guia e pako langa karisi ale hei lala moho koi kalos pani pe ai foki pe mo blue maria mo kalasi ke he maria he ko taimi ko te ke mairi ai oa pe tane ne ke fahi e mere maktarine foi alabasta ko ene fakatau ele fika telefoni fitu no noa hiva malu fa ta fitu pe ko tolu wa tolu hiva valu fa noa hiva wa ko ia ta leva ke fika telefoni fitu no noa hiva valu fa taha fitu pe ko tolu wa tolu hiva valu fa noa hiva wa ko talatu o ku si e kuleaka aku amu atu he kohono manongi tene ave ko ke vava mo mahina pe te ke maali kana si o fetu u pe mo faka isa tau lolo ala pasita kiai
Iyo ke lolo ala pasita ia mo tolu tike ke mo au ki he Ngaahi kakala o e lolo ala pasita. Whetutaki mai rewa ki a hua vai maka, ko e tare ki tā ia pia mo Losella Brown. O ta rewa ha o lolo o ki ai pia mo e nau specialo ki he Valentine. Whetutaki mai ke tare ki tā hua vai maka pe ko e Ona Losella Brown.
Ko au mai ai hoho malu o COVID-19. O ko malu pau pia i kai ki totong foki. E tu whaki atu ia ki tau tolu i whaunga whaingofua pe o whakapapau i ene wahe tau. Whakapapau i lewa o ku ke hoho malui pe a toi mau pe o mes he kofa mo ni ko e tau ngā ue whakataha e tau fia i ai COVID-19. Ko e whanonongo ia me he senta o Sierra Health Foundation.
Iyo whamanatu atu te mou tolu o ku tike ke mou hoho vaccine o ku toko lahi pe ai kainga tonga tatu whitu California ni tike ki au mai ai hoho vaccine ki ho mau ngahi whetu uni ka ko ene a umai koe ki ho mo whetu u pe whakapapau i o ku mou o hoho malui ko hia ke lava ke malu pe a me he COVID i taha hiwa ka kumahu inga ke tau malu ia ki nau tolu te ke nau puke ka tau te whito ki nau tolu nau tuu la vea ngofua. Aki ai tau ngau e whakataha pia mo e tau tupu mo ki nau tolu o ke nau mahino ia rea whakatonga. Ke whakahoko ke te ki nau tolu ai mahu inga ke nau whakamahu ingai. Ai mo ui o e nau tamai, mo e nau whae, ai e nau kui, pe ko nau uncle. Ke nau kau hono toko nii o e ngahi mo ui ko ia. Ka ke hoi ki makainga ko e tau taimi he taimini ko e taha ni mawalu pe ko toi a mini te ua ki he toi a mini te ua ki he Hello. Toi a mini te ua ki he taha pia tūmua ke o atu hatau ki whasi pia koe whangaki o ngongo pe eni o ku fie. O atu koe kausotia ko ia na nawo o malui. Lindsay?
Ia, se mi se kapaki ko e whainga te whai ka unge. Mago toko ni mai na unau whainga e ko ki te tari ho telefoni. Unau whia vai vai atu ke Polokalama, unau whitu taki mai.
Koe ne toki tatangi beni o tā mai.
Ia, tok sia peke ni skola unau whainga atu. Ia, ko moutor kona kataki kona ku ata pe telefone whainasi.
Iyo, ku wawa tu pe u te keki tatangi mai o telefoni ka e. Sai pe ke toki.
Okay.
Wakaika, iyo.
Ole.
Mola lei. Ke taki mua pe koe na ke tā mai ki he le tio.
Iyo. Koe kata ki se mis koe ko finau.
Ue, finau, fai kau malo mua. Ka taki u whamore more atu.
Kai, a beia he o ke fia begita te whanua te ke Polokalama, u lele ka nau tā pia he ki taimi koe na pe ngari ataka koe na mo ua beha o Polokalama, ku wha bea koe ke hapalapale.
Kai sai be o ku ata be ya, koe nei kai pe ke uongo e ne tatangi ane nai koe na toki lea mai. Kai sai be o ata be ke vahe mai.
Ko ia, o whawhia bea ke te au e se misi mo Lindsay, ko hui koe Polokalama koe ni. Nā ku whenga lahi au pito ke whaamahu i ngai ai anga koe ni pia mohono nā tūla, ai ni o ku whakahoko aki ai ki i businessi koe ni ai lolo ka kala te.
Koia.
Pia nā ku nofope aku o sai ia i hono hanga ko nā koe e ona o whakalea aki ai ka kala te au. He ko hanga kumi pe ko vivili ke hanga o mahu inga ia maarie i he tuunga ko ki ai lolo.
Koia.
Pea ko whaka hingoa me mui o tānaki mai ki he lolo. Ai lolo ka kala e te au.
Koia.
Pea ko sio penia aku whaka iau pe ia pe mo kutui pe ia aku. Hange tof penia e se misi ko hono o mai ai folofola. Pea ku tau lava ke tau whakapapau i pe te tau tui ke mea koe o mai i folofola.
Koia.
Ka kia te au pa mo ku mahino ko koe ai mea koe o mai i folofola. O kai te hame te levei pe te tae whakapapau o ku mo one mea ko toa pe o ku fou mai i folofola. Pea ka pau koe mea koe ni ngai founga mai me he kamata ngā hono Ngaahi. Ka hono whakatāpui ai lolo.
Koia.
Ka mata pe ia pa ko kai ke ulavau ke whakauliriki ka ko to mai pe ai konga mahu inga. Ta koe lolo koe ni na e ui ia he aho ko ia koe ka mata anga hono Ngaahi e lolo. Koe tānaki mea ofa ke ave ke Ngaahi a ke tāpane kare koe oi otua.
Koia.
Pea whiunga koe hono omi koe umea ofa pea talangi he kakai kia Mosese. Kua whiunga kai totonu ke kamata e ngāwe. Pea nau whili mai lewa hataha. Koe tokotaha ia o ku poto I poto. Tene lava whakafuofua mo whatu ai whainga ngāwe koe ki ngāwe aki. Ka koutala noa pe nia aku ki he whatu. Pea mohono Ngaahi koe oi lolo.
Koia.
Ka atoa umea ke he. O ku e toki whakaiki ki pe aki mui. Ka ko ki tala noa pe aku ia ki he matu aki mahu inga. Pe ako foi tapu aki ia o ku fufu mai I he tua oi lolo. Koe namu kakala koe e lolo.
Koia.
He koe mea pia nai hoi fua o tua. Koe mea koe o ku namu kakala taha mo namu lelei taha. Koe ngangatu koe o whahinga mea koe ia. Koe mea ku whakahoi fua taha ki he o tua.
Maria.
Ka ko kutui koe ki he natula koe pe mohono Ngaahi koe lolo. Na hanga pe he o tua ia fili e toko taha. Koe ongo tangata I toko ua. Pea ni hanga o whakamawhai I mo ni hanga o whakaiwi. Koe poto koe o kuia nā wate na Ngaahi aki ai whainga hui o lolo. Ke hoko e lolo ko ia koe lolo tapu.
Maria.
O ko tui lahi pea o ke smahino I te koe lolo tapu pea me kakai kotoa pegu nau mea mai ke paenga. Ka koe lolo tapu, koe lolo pe ia o ku tapu ha ki he mea pe ia kua pani e he o tua ki ai.
Koia.
Pea ku whakahauko pe ia I he wholofola I he tohi koe ai. Soto tolu nima mo e tolu fitu. Ki he mahu inga pe ia o Ngaahi o lolo. Ke whai aki ai tapu aki, whai aki e pani, pea whai aki pea mo insenisi na mukakala mo maa. Pea kou tō mai pe au e whakakaukau ka atoa ko ia toki ai peha no taimi lahi. Ka koe ki taimi koe ni koe kou sio ki ai e whiunga pea mohono o mai koe o whakakaukau. Koe whahinga lolo ia na e Ngaahi koe pea alu koe mo e whewhine ki pētani. Ai ki he whare koe Saimone koe kiria na e iai koe ai iki ko Jesu Kristo.
Koia.
Pene hanga lewa o whahi e foi lolo, koe ia koe lolo na ati. Pea koe whakamatala koe ki ai e wholwhola na ane liringi ai lolo koe ia I he fofonga o Jesu.
Maria.
Pea koe kutui koe a aku ki ai. Koe taimi koe na ane liringi ai na e mohu tāpua ki nai kalamai na e whonu e ngangatu pe mo namu kakala koe o lolo ko ia I he loto whare e kotoa. Pea ka pau lewa o ku pehe a mea koe na e whai e whewhine. Hange pe ka te au o ku ne omi fo I tāpua ki ko ia. Ko hono ola ia pea mohono fua ia o lolo. Ko hono whakahoko ki he eiki. Pea ko hono omi en he eiki ai tāpua ki ko ia ki he whewhine. Ko whepe ha potu. He koe teu koe ni ku whai he whewhine ko teu ia. O hoku pekia, mo teu ia hoku whatongia ko tope ki he aho. Teu hiki a toi mi mahamani. Ka koe tāpua ken ko tui koe ki ai. Ko hui koe me ke lesi koe ia ko mai he wholofola. Pea o mai he o tua I hoku lau maari hange tofu koe whakaukau koe ni. Ka pau ko tāpua ki I aki ho tau eiki whamo ui. O ku aonga e lolo ke tāpua ki hataha pe o ku whainga tā ia, hataha pe o ku mahaki ia, pea ko hono tala o ku whai a semisi, tohi a semisi e psele a apostolo ko ni wahe ni ma, pea koe ai hongo fulu maa wha, pea mo e hongo fulu maa ni ma. Ka ailewa hataha o ku mahaki ia pe whainga tā ia. Tala mai o ku tāna ke kakai o ku nau tuitaha. Mātua pe koe kakai ku whalalaanga, pe koha kau whaifikau. Koe taimi koe una lotu ai, talamai tākai ake lolo. Pe aku kau le vai, ai tāpu aki pe moe kore una whai, ke whakamo ui e toko taha ko ia. Pe koe mea koe ko koloa ia ai e se misi mo linsi. Ka pau ko pe he, koe lolo ko toa pe ko o mai ki a te au pe mo hoa. Koe lolo kakala te au. Koe ki lotu ia aku, pia mo ku tui vai a aku o kou whakamooni tai toi lewa. O kou hufekina mo lotua, ke tāpua ki aki hataha pe tene inasi ai. Pia ke whakamoui aki hataha e ala ki ai ke mo ui ai. Ka pau ku ke tui. Ka pau ku ke tui ke he lolo kakala te au koe lolo namulelei mo ngangati whakahoifua ke o tua. O kou pore e au hataha pe tene loto ki ai pe tene tali ai whakakaukau koe ni pia moi tui o kou ngawe aki. I he ku mao ai lolo. O kou mo ui ai wai. Pia o ku iwi koe o mai he o tua ke tau whakahoko aki ha mea o tau tui ki ai. O kai mate ia. Ka o ku mo ui ko ia pia alu pia no nanamu o na ia o ku hange pia koe mea o ku wholofola ai tua. Te una namu au o ku namu kakala ha mea. Koe mea ko hoi fua ki ai. Pia koe mea o ko fina ngalo ki ai. Pia e hoko e mea o ko fina ngalo mo ui ki ai. E mo ui ia. Pia ko hange tof pe ia koe. Koe ouna koe ni. Pia mo i totaha na e whakamawhai i he o tua ke ne ngau he lolo. Ke whai a ke pani mo i tāpuaki. Pia ka pau koe ia ko hoa o kuni hanga o Ngaahi mohui. Koe tāpuaki a tua fufu me tua. He kai te ke lava e koe o tanu. Pa he kai te lava koe o whakapuriki ai tāpuaki u whahe o tua. E osi e mea, e tuku mai e mea. E osi e mea, e tuku mai e mea. E maha, e whakafonu mai. He ko i koe tāpuaki ai o tua e o whai ki ha mea o kuni hoi fua ki ai. O kui kai lava atai ta ofi hona nanamu ai whaka ofo ofa. Ta tau to whea ki a te au bea mo i kutui. Ko i wholofola koe ai o tua kapau e nā muhi pehe kakai ko tau pepe nau mau o tui ki ai ki mea o ku whamana vai he o tua. Te nau mo ui ai pe. Ka ki a te au ia bea mo i kutui bea mo i whalala. O ko fia mau pe au. Pea o ko hufekina aki e kutui a aku bea mo i whalala o tua. Ke tāpua ki i pia wha mo ui haka kai te nau fie mo ui ai. O koe koe lolo peke namulelei ke te aluholo pia mo te ngau. Ka koe fuiwi pia mo mea fufu he o tua he lolo. Ke tāpua ki pia ke wha mo ui aki haka kai. Hange to fie kono tāpua ki he e ki ai wha e koe ni nani whakamole ki ai lolo. Ki he ni mo ui. Ko koe e hoko koe koe matapā ke whakahoko aki e kumo ui ke ilonga hapoto e malanga i ai. So koe ahon, koe mea ia ku whakakoloa aki mo tāpo aki. Malanga i, he koe whewhine nani hanga, lilingi pa nani hanga mau i ai. Ai ne koloa mahu inga. Taka pau koe ia, e linsi, koe tāpo aki koe whai he otua. Te keike ke sio koe he tāpo aki. O te keike ke sio koe he mea ku whai he otua, ka ikai ke toi hao me a koko o finangalo i tua ke whakafonu aki ai koloa i holo tawhare. Kai umaa ho mo whiohi pia mo Polokalama ku whai ko whamaro lahi. Pia ko whiawhia lahi pia pa ko whawhitai ke eki, ke kaumai ki whainga maari e koen, ke ukaua e tua he wahe. Pia ko ofa lahi atu.
I whamalo ta pita ka te koe whaiwhikau whinau. Mea whaou he wahe ke whai pia o ku whakatupu maa whana ki he loto pia o ku kui lahi e ngahi mea na e kei ke te whakaukau ki ai ka o ke hanga o wahe mai pia o ku alu e whakaukau ki ai o ku mooni o pito pia koe taha ia o e monu o e lolo ko e ni ko ia ko o lotua pia mo whakaloto lahi pia koe mooni ko e hangi ko e hu i ko ni lolo ko e fua ia ai toketa pia o mai ka linsi pia ko linsi pe o kune whai hono hui utofia e mai linsi ke o aluange o ke o hui ke o poto pau tahange mahalo o ku tonu ange pe ho o whai e koe ka ku toki ai pe hataimi te toki tokoni ki ai ka koutu i mahalo na e pani pe ni mai o linsi ke ne whai e hui ko e ni ai fua a tokta whapalu whakataha pe am homolo tu pe ko taha ia o e lea o e kakai o na whakahoko mai o whanongo koe ki ai a linsi pa o whanongo ki ai moau o ku ova ia i he mea ko ia na e whai ki ai amanaki o hangi ia koe na e to ia hata haina ne tulu i ha mea ki he lolo o toi makehe a hono manongi o na ia I he mea koe a koe o tala mai e he kakai. Pea mo oni e mea koe o ke vahe mai. Pea koe tala mai pea linsi he matala no ane hawhita mai ia. O koe tala mai koe he kakai a he nau namu lele ia koe ia he lolo. Pea koe whakakau ke talanga nau tolu. Na iai pe ai mea na tulu i makehe aki. Kako tui ka koe mea koe na tulu i makehe aki a niu ke lau ki ai lotu. Pea koe mo one mo. Kau whamalo tika te koe whaiwhekau, malo mo ai pou mai, pea malo e lotu ai ki lolo ko e ni, pea mo oni o ku lahi pea mo e ngahi hoa mari, o ku nau tā mai o tala mai, e nau mirimiri lolo, pa hange o nau to e whi ofani ai, pea kou tui o ku iaire vai lelei, I he ngahi hoa mari na e kai ke nau mau ai fia o ku nau fia he taimu nau mirimiri ai lolo. Whakotui koe taha ia ngahi tāpuaki he mea koe nu ke vahe mai. Kau whakamalo tika te koe whaiwhekau, malo mu ai lotu ai lolo, pia malo ai vahe mai, pia mo e pou o ku toe lolo to ange ai ilo o ovatu ia I he ki I lolo pe. Kau ofatu ke te koe, pia ofatu ki hoa ki a lele. Pea mo e whaifatongi au whai. Malo pito. Ia, malo whaiwhekau.
Yo.
Ko ia hau iku me kainga ko e tasi mo ke tari ki telefoniko ai ni. Hello?
Se misi ko alama.
Io, alama malo mo e tau ma.
Ko e tātō o whakamala ka moa he lulu nei tuku o si.
Io, malo.
Mea whakamala whana mon ko te whanungat ke kawai kauleka he lulu e pili koe ngahi whika.
Malo alama. Ko ia.
Koe ke umea au. Ka kou ata whakamala ke hoa. Ko o si mila lolo pa ko
tau tō atu.
Ko ki poi lolo ia nei ko kumile lolo ko ilo mea le lan pakato.
Iyo.
Ai lolo. Ko alato e vat po mo lima le lan poi hina lolo ka tau pa tanga mani. Tamai le lan ai ahi alo ahi tungani pete ke sai ai.
Ko ia.
Pa tanga mani. Te hango I molua to sino e te mili ko lolo.
Ko ia kau ale lani he kau tuaki ko ia o e lolo ka kala te au.
Okay. Ko ia ko antia o ko kasina ka le lani pa antia ka to umu ko I Hawaii.
Iya. Si whamalo atu mua ala malo e tā mai vahe mai o ku walahi ke te koe e kau mai.
Ko tātou whamalo ka moa mo I kaureka he pululu whakapopa nei whakahoko he wiko o si. Mo hato ataku opa ke kaureka.
Iyo. Ko e te weni ke nau huu mai ke whai nau Polokalama ko ia koe ai.
Iyo. Ko hawia ko hawa e a support e Polokalama e kaureka.
Iyo. Pe nofai pe hena o sio mai ki he whanau he te nau.
Okay.
Nau huu mai. Okay, alama. Malo o pito e. Ia, o fatu. Ko ia hoi ki makainga ko e ngatanga ia o e whaifatongia a e whiunu koula e tonga ka e hoko mai e whanau pia mo e Youth Hour I he taimini ka whakamalo atu unau heni e whai atu e nau Polokalama whakakeke atu e toketā I he ahoni. Ka whakamalo atu ke te motolo hana kotoa peu mo si kau mai.
Hey yo, big wave. Turn the mic on. Small time alongside JW. My bestie and your bestie sit down by the fire. Your bestie says she want parties, so can we make these flames go higher? Talking about hey now, Aiko ane. Chucking more fina anane. Chucking more fina ne. Start my truck, let's all jump in. Here we go together. Nice cool breeze and big palm trees. I tell you, life don't get no better. Talking about hey now, Aiko ane. Chucking more fina anane. Chucking more fina ne. Okay, your mama ngwele. Step on on the dancing floor. Hips be winding, DJ rewinding, take it to the island way. Get your baby mama, put on your dancing shoes. One drop it, pop it low now, take it to the max now. Jam in this small jam way, jam in this small jam way. My bestie and your bestie, dancing by the fire. Your bestie says you want parties, so can we make these flames go higher? Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now. I go, ane. Chucking more fina, anane. Chucking more fina, ane. Let me take it from here. Solomon girl straight up, right hoochie mama. Make me party non-stop in a island banda. Swing those hips and back it up to me ragga. A chance for party ladies do the doggy doggy. I'm drumming island reggae, rapping blue, green and yellow. Me tapping on me beat, make a slow wine for me baby. Speakers pumping, people jumping. We drumming the island way. Shout out to the good time crew all across the islands. Grab your shoes, let me 2x2, and now we're shining bright like diamonds. Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go, ane. Chucking more fina, anane. Chucking more fina, ane. Yes, one drop it, pop it low now. Take it to the max now, jump in the small jam way. Wind it. Wind up, go down, wind up, go down. Twist your body backward. We go left, left, we go right, right. Turn it around and forward. Wind up, go down again. Wind up, go down, wind up, go down. Twist your body backward. Twist it back. We go left, left, we go right, right. Turn it around and forward. My bestie and your bestie, dancing by the fire. Your bestie says you want parties, so can we make these flames go higher? Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go, ane. Chucking more fina, anane. Chucking more fina, ane. Chucking more fina, ane. Chucking more fina, ane. Chucking more fina, ane. Para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia pa' mi patria. Y arriba, ay arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, 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 bamba. Para bailar la bamba, necesito una poca de gracia pa' mi patria. Y arriba,
Malalele Tonga, Talofalava Samoa,
Kia ora, New Zealand.
Bulavi Naka Fiji, Aloha Hawaii.
And hello, America. My name is Marie Pome'e.
My name is Salote Onaseni Pome'e. And my name is Belina Kitarita Pome'e.
And welcome to
Vake Tali Folau
Youth Hour. We hope you guys are having a great weekend, and thank you everyone who's watching our radio today. Today we'll be interviewing Dr. Hales, and she's a Samoan descent, and she's a member of the Provo School District. She has talent, and she's a great role model for Polynesian youth. And we're going to be interviewing her in 8 minutes. So we're going to play songs and say hi to all of you guys. And yeah. Good morning, Mary Melalatu. Thank you, good afternoon, Mary Melalatu. Thank you for joining our program and Ofa Atu.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilonoloze, uhambe nami,
Good morning or good afternoon, Alama. Thank you for joining our program and Ofa Atu. I keep saying good morning. Good afternoon, Mom. Thank you for watching our program. We love you.
dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami ilondoloze 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 zungangishilana
Good afternoon, Lucia Louis Thompson. Thank you for joining our program and Ofa Atu.
Dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami.
Before we start our program, we want to say happy birthday to Cameron, Feti, and Anna Kalia. Do you guys want to say something?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, and I hope you guys have a good day.
Yeah, so Anna Kalia, she's turning 1, Feti's turning 8, and Cameron's turning 12. Yeah, so we're going to sing happy birthday for you guys, and yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear, dear one. Happy birthday to you. From good friends and true. From good friends and new. May good luck go with you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Cameron, Feti, and Anna Kalia. We hope you guys have a great birthday. And yeah, so in 3 minutes we'll be calling Dr. Hales, and we'll be asking her questions. And yeah, so we'll play another song before we start, before we call her. Hi, Malita. Thank you for joining our program, and drive safe to church and take care of Watu.
Every time I ask you,
Now we are going to be interviewing Dr. Hales today, and we would like to thank Dr. Afopalu for bringing her to the radio and for giving us the opportunity to interview a new doctor today.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Hales. This is Youth Hour.
Hi, Youth Hour.
Hi, can you hear us clearly?
I can.
Okay, so we would just like to thank you for joining our program today and taking your time for us to let us interview you. So we'll start by introducing ourselves. My name is Marie Pomee.
My name is Salote Pomee. And my name is Bolina Pomee.
Nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you too. So, how's your day been?
Not too bad. Saturdays are a little more relaxing. How about you guys?
Our day's been good.
Good.
Oh, and yeah, it's just raining.
Where are you calling from?
We're calling from Victorville, California.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
It's raining here too. Raining, snowing. I'm in Utah.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is Marie, and I'll ask you the first question.
Sure.
Does learning stop when you get a doctor's or master's degree?
No. So the learning definitely does not stop when you get graduate degrees and doctoral degrees. It's just a different kind of learning. Instead of being in the classroom or having professors tell you specifically how to write a paper or do research, you kind of carry on those practices. So because I have a PhD and because I got my master's degree, I can read. So like when people post stories, news stories or whatever, and it has some kind of research attached to it, I can actually open up those research papers if I have access to them. And I can understand whether it was a well done research or what, is it saying what people are interpreting it to say. So my learning continues. I use the knowledge that I got formally from school, but I continue to use everything that I was taught just in everyday life when I look at different things that are happening. So the learning continues. It just looks different.
That's awesome. Thank you for your answer. And Salote will ask you the next question.
Sorry, can you say that again, my daughter?
Oh, you're good. I said Salote will ask you the next question.
Sure.
Hello, my name is Salote, and my question for you is, what made you want to become what you are today?
If you're talking about getting a doctoral degree, then I've always enjoyed school. I've always enjoyed learning. So I think that's just I was kind of born that way, just enjoying formal learning in classrooms. If you're talking about the school board, because I was just elected to the school board here in our district, that's never been on my radar. I was actually asked to run by some people in my neighborhood because they didn't feel like they had a voice, and they knew that I had the education and they knew that I had the time and the money to be able to do something like that. So they asked me a few times if I would run, and I agreed this time around. So I actually political office was never something that I wanted to do. I did at one time want to be a professor, which is why I went on to get my PhD. But after getting a PhD, I decided I didn't want to be a professor. I kind of saw what it was. But some of the stuff I really wanted and look forward to for most of my life, and some of it is just brand new to me.
That's awesome. And Paulina will ask you the next question.
Hi, this is Paulina, and my question for you is, what do you like about your job?
So my job on the school board, I enjoy, actually my favorite part so far is I've gotten to talk to a few youth groups of from students of color. I've been able to go to their classroom and talk to them about getting engaged, civically getting engaged in voting and running for office, and then answering their questions, and just letting them see that someone who looks like them can be in an elected position. And so that is one thing that's probably my favorite thing so far. I also like that I'm able to interact with a lot of people in the district and kind of get to see some different viewpoints and talk to a lot of different people. So I really enjoy that. I also respond to a lot of emails, which it's not like it's enjoyable to do that, to think about emails and responding to people, but I do like being able to communicate and to help people understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I think, I really think it's just getting to know people and helping out. I also got to help out one time with the vaccines. Teachers here are getting the COVID-19 vaccines, which is a big deal for them to be able to be safe in the classroom. And I really, really enjoyed meeting everybody who came through, checking them in and talking to them and seeing the joy on their faces that they were able to get something that will help them to be safe. So just a lot of community stuff like that is what I enjoy.
Oh, that's so awesome. And I like how like you're doing like culture diversity so you can teach others like that different colors and races can be something. That's awesome.
Well, and I love that too. I think when you have people from different backgrounds, cultures, races, genders, I mean, just whatever it is, I think we make better decisions. When there's different people at the table, we make better decisions for everybody. And I think it's valuable. But one of the things that I've recognized is we don't run for office. We meaning Polynesians, but also we meaning people of color. As far as I know, I am the first person of color on the school board. They don't keep those stats, but here in my district, I believe I am the first person of color on the school board, and it's a little shocking because there's about 30% of us, from what I understand, at least in the school district. And we need to come to the table. We need to run for office. We need to put our voices out there because I believe better decisions will be made. Like you said, when we take into account culture and diversity, we make better decisions overall, in my opinion.
That's awesome. And this is Marie again. And what inspired you to be what you are today?
You know, my grandparents were born and raised, my father also born and raised in Western Samoa. And the education system there was, at least when my grandfather was growing up, was very, he had to take on an English last name in order to get past a certain grade level. So education has always been an important part of my family history from before I was born till now. And I remember growing up hearing my dad and my grandparents talk about the importance of education, and speaking up. And I think that just kind of became part of my story. It became part of my DNA and who I am and the way that I think about things. But hearing about my grandfather and everything that he went through to be educated, because he changed his name to an English name so that he could, or I guess he took his mother's last name is a better way of saying that. Took his mom's last name because it was an English name, and got as much education as he could there. And then he saved up his salary and bought a set of encyclopedias and read the encyclopedias to educate himself and to make his English better. And just listening to his stories made me want to honor that. And it made me want to get all the education I can, because I have so many I don't know if bigger is the right word, but so many opportunities. I have so many different opportunities here. And I wanted to take advantage of that. So I think, for as long as I can remember, hearing those stories about my grandfather and my grandmother have really encouraged me to get an education and to do what I can with the education.
That's awesome. And I like your story. And Salote will ask you the next question.
Okay.
My question for you is, how was your life growing up?
So I was born in Hawaii. My mom is Hawaiian mix, but she's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She went to college in Hawaii. She met my dad there, who went from Samoa to Hawaii. They met there. I was born there, but I was very young when we moved to Utah. And then when I was 11, we moved to Western Samoa, where my dad is from, because he had a dream. He was valedictorian. He had a dream that he would come back. He kept having dreams that he needed to go back and help his people. So we went back for 3 years, came back in the middle of my freshman year in high school. And so I consider those my growing up years. And I had a very good, I have no complaints. I have a very good childhood. We were not rich. We did not always have very much money. But I feel like I was able to really see what was important. I kind of grew up in the middle of two worlds. So growing up in an area that's predominantly Caucasian. And then, so that was here in Utah, and then being treated kind of as different, and then moving to the islands. And I'm very, very fair. I call myself the white sheep of my family, because everybody's dark and I'm pretty fair. My hair is dark, but my skin is pretty light. And I was different there too. And so I've never really, I'm very comfortable with where I am now, but growing up, I never really felt like I fit in anywhere. I don't act the same way as the Polynesians. I don't act the same way as the Palangi folks where I grew up. So I've always grown up kind of in the middle. And for a long time, that was really hard for me. But I really, once I got to college and figured some things out, I was able to kind of find my own path. I'm very comfortable with where I am now, but it wasn't always like that. And my heart always goes out to those kids who are of mixed heritage, or who grew up in one area but are a different race, or they look different or talk different or act different, because I understand that. But I'm very fortunate. We always had enough food on the table. We always had the clothing that we needed. I always had the educational opportunities. My parents made a lot of sacrifices so that we could participate in, sports or whatever educational opportunities there were out there. And I know that not everybody had that. So I had I love my upbringing. I don't have any complaints. But there's difficulties. I think just like everybody, we all face our own challenges.
That's awesome. And yeah, I agree with what you say. And Bolina will ask you the next question.
Okay.
This is Bolina again, and my question for you is: our uncle Dr. Afubalu is here, and how did you get to know Dr. Afubalu?
Oh, Dr. Palu and I. So I can't remember if we were in the same year. I don't remember if we came in the same year, but we were in the same PhD program together at Brigham Young University here in Provo. We were in the same classes, but I cannot remember if we came in the same year. But I had a lot of classes with him in order to get my PhD. And he's Polynesian and I'm Polynesian. We kind of would sit down and we would talk about our experiences. And there was a Hawaiian guy in there as well with us. And so we kind of bonded over being Polynesian and would talk about all of the different experiences that we'd had. And we had the opportunity to help each other with whatever classes that we had. And I enjoyed getting to know Dr. Palu. He's a good man.
That's awesome. And yeah, Dr. Afubalu is an awesome guy. He always helps us, and he helps us stay focused in school.
Yeah, he's good, and I'm glad that he's helping you guys do that. I love all of these things that he's doing to reach out to the Tongan population as well as other islander populations, because we need it. We need someone who can help us to stay motivated and to be an example. And I think Dr. Palu is a great example of that.
Yeah. So this is Marie again, and my question is: what process did you go through to know which major to take when you first started college?
Oh, so my undergrad, when I got my bachelor's degree, I actually started off with a couple of other things. I wanted to be an athletic trainer, and then maybe even be a podiatrist or a surgeon who worked with athletes, like when they got injured. And someone once said to me, like, asked me some kind of question. I can't remember what the question was, but I remember going off saying the world is, we're so angry in this world and we have all these problems and nobody's trying to fix it. And then they asked me, so what's your major? What are you majoring in? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to be a podiatrist. Not that there's not podiatry problems in the world, but I thought about it and I thought maybe I should be majoring. I feel strongly about this. Maybe I should be majoring in something that helps these issues that I'm so unhappy about. So I switched my major. I thought about doing speech therapy, which I enjoyed. But then I can't remember what the final straw was, but I finally decided to switch over to social work. So I have a bachelor's in social work and a master's in social work, which means that now I'm an LCSW, which is a licensed clinical social worker. That's my master's degree. That's from my master's degree. And basically I'm a mental health therapist, and I was able to work with a lot of people who needed help. And so I kind of got there the roundabout way, but I feel good about what I chose. But it took me a while. I was on my third. I entered college almost as a sophomore because I took a lot of advanced placement courses and came into college as almost a sophomore, but it ended up still took me 4 years because I changed my major twice. But I don't regret that either. I had a lot of good experiences, but it took me a lot of soul searching and really figuring out what the best fit was for me.
Oh, that's cool. And it sounds like you really like helping people a lot. So does that mean when you finished high school, like you didn't know what to do, or like were you still finding what you wanted to be?
I was still figuring it out. And that's one thing people always say to me, what should I do in college and what should I major in? And I think you should have direction, but I think you should feel free to switch it, kind of like I did. Some people, they get it done and they're done in 2 or 3 years, are really the really focused people, which is great. But I didn't know probably, I don't know, probably 4 years after is when I finally figured out my major after I graduated from high school. And I felt like I was behind some people and ahead of other people, but I don't think anyone should leave high school and feel bad about themselves if they don't know exactly what it is they want to do. That's part of what college is about. You go and you take different classes and you figure out what's a good fit. And like me, I thought for sure this was going to be a good fit. I was going to be an athletic trainer and I was going to work in the sports field. And when I started doing it, it just wasn't the right fit. So I started searching for other things and it took me a few tries. But I feel like I finally landed in the right spot. Having said that, I thought about nursing too. If I had done nursing, I think that would have been fine as well. And I probably would be just as happy in nursing as I am where I am now. So I guess my advice to young kids in high school would be find what you want to do, go after that. But if it doesn't feel right or you're not sure what you want to do, don't let that stop you. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other and you'll eventually end up in the right spot. But you're probably going to change your mind a few times and that's okay.
That's awesome. Sorry, I have like one last question before my sisters can ask you a question. Like, did money matter to you? Like, the amount of money you make in a job, did that matter to you? Or like, as long as you like the job, that was it?
Oh, that is a good question. So after I got even before I got my master's degree, I wanted to go to law school. I actually got accepted to several law schools, and I knew that lawyers can make a lot of money, and that does matter. I mean, for me to say it doesn't matter would be not true. It does matter how much money you make, but when it came down to it, for me, I decided that I needed to feel good about what I was doing, and not that lawyers are bad people or anything like that. I just wasn't for me. I decided, even though I could make a lot of money. So for me, it became more important that I just made enough money to live and have, a comfortable life rather than a lot of extra money. But other people don't feel the same way, and they go for different jobs for money purposes, and that's fine. But for me, it came down to, what do I feel good about? How do what job do I have where I can help people and feel good about what I do?
That's awesome. Thank you. And Salote will ask you the next question.
Okay.
Hello. My question for you is, what strategies did you use in college to be successful?
Oh, So there's all kinds of strategies for studying. For one of the strategies that worked best for me. I was very studious high schooler, so in high school I studied a lot. But in college, I guess as well as high school, one of the best strategies that you can do is figure out your time management. You need good time management skills. And one of the strategies for me was if I took a lot of credits and didn't work, I found that I didn't do as well. And that's because my time wasn't as structured. Like I had extra time, and so I would goof off and my grades would drop a little bit because I didn't have as much structured time. So for me, one of my strategies in keeping my grades up was holding a job. I didn't have much of a choice either. I had to pay for college myself, and I had a few student loans I had to pay off, small ones. But I found that the semesters where I worked and had a full schedule, my grades were better because my time management was better. So I think that's one strategy people need to get down, is how are they going to manage their time? And then you've got to figure out studying, what's the best way. Some people study better in groups. Some people study better individually. I tend to study better individually, and then occasional groups. And so I made sure that I was studying in a way that that was conducive to the way that I learned. So I think figuring out how you study best and then figuring out your time management are going to be two big things, strategies that you should have when you're thinking about going to college.
That's awesome. And Paulina will ask you the next question.
Okay.
This is Paulina again. And my question for you is, what's the hardest part about your job?
Oh, right now, if we're talking about school board, probably the hardest part right now is finding a way to make decisions that will benefit everyone in the district, because right now we're dealing with the pandemic and COVID-19, and resources are thin, and people are tired, and I hear from so many different people with so many different viewpoints, and they're all valid. Everything that people are saying is very valid. But having to make a decision that is good for everyone is very difficult. And like, what might be best for 80% or 70% of the district who's in one category but isn't as good for the other 30%. Do I lean toward helping the 30% who are probably underrepresented and don't have the resources they need, or do I go with the majority who is most of the people? So it's really, I think, balancing everybody's needs and trying to help everybody's needs be met, particularly in a pandemic, has been difficult for me to really figure out what is the best way to go, because there's so many right answers. There's no answers there aren't as many answers that are really wrong, but trying to figure out what's going to be best for everybody and what decision is going to help the most people. Because whatever decision I make, somebody's going to be unhappy, or somebody's not going to get what they need. And I wish there was a way I could make decisions that would benefit everybody equally, but that just doesn't happen. So I think that would be the hardest part of my job right now.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And this will probably be the last question, and it's from someone that's watching the radio. And they said, how did you push through all of the stress that came with working and going to school at the same time?
Oh, good question. My personality is I'm highly anxious. And so I feel like I've dealt with it my whole life. Like, whether or not people have been putting stress on me, I put stress on myself. So I feel like I've kind of dealt with it. But really how I've gotten through with all the stress of when I was in school working and studying and everything, again, time management was a big thing, but another big thing was to take care of myself and to listen to myself, because sometimes I would push myself too hard and I didn't rest. I think sometimes we think if we don't rest, then we're going to get more done. But I have found that if I rest and if I take care of my own physical health, so exercise is huge for me. I have to get out and I have to exercise. That's a good stress reliever for me. I also need to give myself mental breaks. And I need to do things. I need to just go to a movie once in a while. Even if I have a paper hanging over my head, I need to take care of my mental health and my emotional health. And like I said, my physical health. So just taking care, so being well balanced, I think, is how I got through all of the stress of all of that. And that's hard. Yeah. Figuring out what your balance is can be hard, but it's definitely worth it when you are trying to get through the stress of the moment.
Thank you for your answer, and thank you for taking the time to let us interview you today. And we hope you have a great weekend and hope to ask you more questions in the future.
I would love to answer more questions. Thank you, the three of you, for asking me these questions and for asking me to be on the show. I love, love, love that Dr. Palu and whoever else is working on this is doing this. I think this is a great experience for you guys, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I would be happy to do this whenever you need.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So we would like to thank Dr. Hales for coming on the radio today and letting us interview her. She had a lot of good answers that we would definitely remember when we're like in college and stuff. And thank you, Dr. Afobalu, for bringing her onto the radio. We loved interviewing her. It was awesome. And thank you to Dewey Getty for asking questions for us to ask her. And thank you, Esther Taylor, for joining the program. And thank you, everyone else who joined the program. We hope you guys have a great weekend. And you guys want to say something?
Thank you, everybody who joined the program. And thank you, Dr. Afubalu, for getting another doctor so we could interview her. And we love you guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching us. And thank you, Dr. Afubalu, for getting us to interview her. And thank you to the doctor. You have amazing answers. And yeah, we love you guys.
And
Ofa Atu from the Pomete Sisters. Bye.
Ilonga hataha efiemo ui ilonga ia teneloto ke tui etali esisu hataha pehe.
Bye, guys.
He